Well, hello everybody and welcome along to Grand Final Day here at Hunters Stadium for the Newcastle Rugby League. What a fairy tale grand final for the league. Macquarie up against Lakes. And Josh Leeson and Morgan Campbell in the commentary box with me this afternoon. First of all, Josh, it is a fairy tale, isn't it, mate?
Of course, it was as we were talking off air before. This is going to be the third grand final Macquarie's ever been in. Of course, they won in '91 and lost in '94 to Curry. But and also Lakes, you know, they've come back from the death, haven't they? They were bankrupt in 2007 when they won their last comp and slowly built themselves up. Had a lot of wooden spoons in that time, and now they're here. And you and I both didn't think that would happen, but
No way.
yeah, they're here, grand final day, and yeah, great crowd building as well.
And Macquarie coach Barry Moore, he's got a few tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah, a bit of late mail. They kept this quiet all week. Denny Vaughan actually re-broke his arm last Sunday in that win over West, so he's out. And Teeson Vale Eli is the shock inclusion. I mean, of course, we know he had his torn medial from that horrendous tackle from Jared Edwards a few months ago, and he hasn't played since. But yeah, they're going to roll the dice and play him in the grand final.
Well, both of these sides have met, 3 times this year, and Macquarie, well, they've been on the opposite end of victories, haven't they, Morgan? But there's only been 7 points maximum in it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They lost, of course, in the minor semi-final only a couple of weeks ago, but they were very close. They could have won the game if they'd taken their chances. So I think even though they've lost each time they've played Lakes, it's been close, and I think they're entitled to feel pretty confident today.
So who should we be watching out for Macquarie today, mate?
Well, I think with Teeson Favielli back in the team, he's got to make a difference. They wouldn't have put him in if they didn't think he was going to improve the team. But I think the main men for them are Michael Moran and Andrew Sumner. They control the game. They place the kicks, they find the grass. And on a day like this where the conditions are likely to get a bit wobbly again before kick-off, I think there's every reason to think they're the main men.
And Josh, what does Lakes have to do to overcome Macquarie today?
Oh, I think they've just got to keep doing what they've been doing all year. I mean, they've we know with Chris Adams there at hooker, they've been really dominating the ruck all year. Brad Murray is, I think heads above every other halfback in the competition. He's been fantastic. I think his kicking game will be vital today. Kicking, and it's a lot different service to what they're used to in the real NRL today. So look for his kicking game. I know he was putting up a lot of bombs at training the other night, so I think he'll test the pretty much the rookie back three for Macquarie with plenty of kicks.
And for the fans that may not know, this club was on the brink of, I guess, bankruptcy years ago. They've done a remarkable effort to turn it around, and credit to, I guess, a lot of the juniors coming through, but also to Dean Noonan.
Oh yeah, a fabulous job. He came in August 2013, and basically with his group of committeemen, and yeah, last year I think they won 5 games, came 3 from the bottom, but then this year, yeah, they've recruited well. Brad Murray, Chris Adams. Dylan Harton's been there full time, and suddenly, yeah, they've become pretty much the best side in the competition. Just played really good, consistent football, and won a lot of great games from the death. They've beaten Macquarie 3 times, beaten West 3 times. So yeah, they're certainly the real deal.
And Morgan, I guess Macquarie, they've come here on the back of a lot of inexperience, but those guys have really shined through, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, going into this final series, as we've heard plenty of times, they'd lost 7 on the spin in semi-finals football. So they don't have experience of getting through those tough games, and yet when they've been in those situations in the last 2 games, they've found a way to get home. Last week was a great example. In the tough conditions, it was wet, it was muddy, they were playing a team you'd expect to do well in those conditions with a big strong defence, but they found something, and that's been what their season's about, and now they're on a real roll.
And Barry Moore, his last game, well, not last game, but it's his last coaching appointment for Macquarie in this semester, one might say.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I can't imagine he got too much sleep last night. Every time that they've won, he's been jumping about and dancing. He reckons he tore his hamstring after the win over Cessnock. He's probably right. You can just see that it means the world to the bloke. And I think there'd be a lot of people that, even if they're Lakes fans, wouldn't begrudge Macquarie a win today.
All right, guys, it's time to put your mouth where put your tips where your mouth is. Who do you think will win the 2015 Newcastle Tooheys Cup Grand Final?
Mate, I just like the Seagulls. I just think they've been too consistent all year. I think last week's game was very, very tough. I think they would have taken a little bit out of the Scorpions, even though they played a hell of a game. But I just like Lakes. I just think with Adams and Murray, they've probably got too much class.
Morgan, where's the money going?
I'm tipping an upset. I tipped an upset last week. I'm tipping another one. I think Macquarie will get it today. I think they're on a roll. They weren't far away from Lakes. In fact, I think they had the better of the game against Lakes in that qualifying final. And today, with a little bit more confidence and a couple of wins behind them, I reckon they'll get it today.
And they'll have the opportunity to come out here to a Hunter Stadium crowd, which I think would be around 5,000 to 6,000 at the moment. I mean, this was Matt Harris's brainchild, I guess. This is what he wanted to do since he has been CEO, to bring a game here to Hunter Stadium, and he's got that opportunity here this year.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a huge supporter of it too. I think it's a great idea. I think, with the weather we've had this week, number one sports ground would have been Quagmire really, but today and would have been very uncomfortable for players and spectators. And here today we've got really great facilities. We're close to the action. Just hope we get a few more thousand in, make a really good vocal atmosphere. Yeah,
we're looking really forward to it. Well, earlier this afternoon, Bar TV caught up with the coaches and the captains ahead of today's grand final. With Matt Harris, the Newcastle Rugby League CEO, made the crowds here, and we're in for a cracker of a day.
Yeah, it's great. It's exciting for us, and I'm sure it's very exciting for the players and their spectators. So yeah, it should be a great day.
But it's a fairy tale grand final, isn't it?
Oh, it is. You look at the backstories for both of the clubs, with a long time between drinks for Macquarie, and Lakes were on their knees a few years ago, and then you had the 7 out of the 8 clubs playing today. We couldn't have scripted it any better. So yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, well, I mean, just let's touch on Lakes. As you say, they were nearly down and out a few years ago. 2 years ago, they didn't even win a competition game. So to turn it around inside, a few years, it's a phenomenal success, not just to the club, but to the fans and the sponsors as well.
Yeah, look, it is a great job, and I think a lot of the credit needs to go to a lot of their past players. And I know that they've got their committees full of blokes that played back in probably the late 80s and 90s, and their old boys have done a lot, and probably a little bit like the Curry Club, so tremendous effort.
All right, well, have a great day, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you.
Mark, 20 years ago you were playing in the Newcastle Rugby League competition. Must be a great thrill to be back here on grand final day.
Sure is, yeah. 20 years ago today, Curry won their last premiership, which I'm very proud to be part of. And right here in third grade, Curry won that grade then, so in the open grade. So it was fantastic to be here to see the Curry boys do that, and that's been 20 years since we won our last senior grade. Congratulations to the Newcastle League. Having it here at Hunter Stadium, I think it's a great initiative, great facilities, a great buzz for the players to be able to use the dressing rooms, use the facilities, get out on the big arena and play great football. It's an exciting day.
And of course, a lot of memories. Must be very fond for you here playing for the Knights as well.
Yeah, look, grew up as a Curry boy and loved the local league. I was a ball boy, and all I ever wanted to do was play first grade for Curry. And lucky for me, I eventually did play for the Knights. This ground does hold a lot of special memories for me, and it's going to hold a lot of special memories for all teams here today as well.
Mate, this year the Mark Hughes Foundation touched base with the Newcastle Rugby League. For the people that may not be aware, how did that all come about and what's the cause?
Yeah, a big thank you to Matt Harris, the CEO, and Jamie Smith from Tui's. It was Jamie that said he wanted to take his logos off the jerseys and put the foundation logo on, and it all went from there. So all the clubs got behind it and supported it. It was really good, great exposure for the foundation, and it's just great to be supported by your own people.
And mate, how are you at the moment?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. I'm healthy and enjoying life, and really looking forward to today's game.
A quick tip for today?
Oh, it's close. Lakes, Toronto, both going to have big supported crowds here. I'm going to go Lakes just in a real close one.
8-6?
14-6.
Rightio, 14-6. Mate, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us on Bar TV, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm with Barry Moore, the Macquarie coach. Barry, did you have much sleep last night?
Not really, but it was probably the best night I've had all week, so yeah, it wasn't too bad, mate.
Mate, do you have a few tricks up your sleeve today?
No, not really, mate. We've same as the last 5 weeks. We just need to go out there, get our defence in order, get in the grind with them, and we'll see what happens at the end after 80 minutes.
What are you expecting from your opposition today, mate?
Oh, look, they'll go for the full 80. They proved last week or fortnight ago against West that and they scored with a few minutes to go. So yeah, they'll be tough, mate. But yeah, we'll be all right, mate. We'll be all right.
Well, we're here with Blake Gallen, captain of Macquarie. Blake, I'll ask you the same question I asked Chris Adams. Did you get much sleep last night?
Got a bit, mate. Yeah, tossing and turning. Woke up pretty early this morning, mate. Keen to get it over and done with now.
You have had a couple of losses against Lakes this year. What do you think's got to change today?
Mate, we've had 3 close losses to Lakes this year, mate. I think if we just hang on to the ball and execute in our attack down their end, I think that'll go a long way to beating them with our good defence so far in the final series.
Do you feel, having got that monkey off your back, having won a finals game for the first time in a couple of years, that the momentum's really carried on from there? Has that been a big thing for the team?
Yeah, mate, I think it has. Momentum has carried it on, but I think it's a lot of the young guys bringing it in too. They haven't felt a lot of the semi-finals losses the previous years, so I think that's got a lot to do with it, and hopefully it keeps going.
I've seen certainly on Twitter and Facebook through the week, you've had a lot of support from people around Toronto. A lot of the local businesses and people are very involved and keen. That'll give you a big lift today.
Yeah, mate, there should be a lot of Toronto support out here today, mate, and I can't wait to hear them cheering when we get out here.
Not a worry. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, mate.
Well, we've got Chris Adams here from the Lakeside. Chris, did you get much sleep last night?
Yeah, I got the usual sleep, mate. I just staying calm and just do my usual prep.
You played in a couple of these now. Of course, you played with Cessnock last year. Does it feel any different the more you play in the grand final?
Oh no, they all feel the same. You know, they're good games to play in, and I'm excited to play in it.
How do you feel your team will go today, Lakes? They've been close to the best team all season. They've knocked off Macquarie 3 times now. Are you confident?
Yeah, I think if we just stick to our game plan and do our job, I think we can get the job done.